Welcome back everybody to another devlog of Realm of Simplicity. If you're new here, Realm of Simplicity is an indie MMORPG being developed using the Unity game engine. If you'd like to join our community and follow our development, please join our Discord. The link is in the description below. Before I dive into the devlog, I wanted to say that I made a polls section on our Discord. And I'm very glad I did this because this allows me to involve the community with decisions about the game. It also involves the community to act as a firewall. Essentially, I have a bad idea, community, or aka the firewall, tells me my idea is terrible.
A few moments later.
And then we all avoid that mistake going in-game. Okay, now let's dive into the devlog. The first thing I wanted to address was the new player starting experience. So this is the encampment in which a new player would spawn in. The previous new player experience was to have the player talk to each NPC around the encampment, which would give them a mini quest of a tutorial of their profession. I feel like this was very bad because I've seen time and time again through playtests, people just run straight through and do not talk to anybody to get started. And this would be really detrimental to their experience because they have no linear tutorial or guideline to go to. My idea to fix this was to wrap the player around invisible colliders in which they cannot escape until they started the tutorial quest. This tutorial quest will essentially guide you through each NPC to teach you the basics of their professions. Now that I believe this starting tutorial quest was a lot better, I wanted to add a lot more features to the mobs. The first thing I wanted to add was immunity to a specific damage type. So as you can see here, I could damage the angry farmer with all three damage types: melee, ranged, and magic. However, now that I have this tick box here for immunity, I can make him immune to magic damage, and now you can see my staff will not hit him anymore, but my other weapons with different damage types will. My other feature for mobs is actually spawning with a certain time of day. So I added these two variables here in which it allows me to control the time of day of where they would spawn. And then if they're outside the time of day, they will not spawn. As we can see here, it's around 9 AM in the morning and there is no ghosts right here. However, if I alter the time, then we can see that the ghost actually spawns. Oh! My last feature I wanted to add for the mobs was actually how they interact in combat. So currently, the whole entire system is the mob will walk in range of their attack range and just continuously attack you. I think this is totally fine and it works, but it's not the most fun. So my first idea to shake things up was to actually give the mob some kiting ability.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
To achieve this, I have the mob calculate a vector angle towards the player, and then I have them move in the negative direction of that, which it is not doing.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
So after fixing whatever the hell that was, we can notice the slith is now trying to keep a certain distance between the player and itself. In the future, I can also make this go left and right of the player, and each mob can have their own variants of this kiting. And since we have the slith here, the slith is supposed to have a poisonous attack. Essentially, you will need a poison resistance potion to be able to not get poisoned. However, currently, all the poison does is add extra damage, which really isn't a poison effect. So I went ahead and changed poison to be an actual status effect, as shown here. Once you're poisoned and you do not have a poison resistance potion, you will actually lose health over time. This effect now makes poison how I want it, a dot or a damage over time. If we were to drink a poison resistance potion before getting attacked, we'll notice we do not have poison applied to us. And now I saved the best thing for last, which is the new skill called Enchanting. This skill opens up the game enormously. Each player can now choose how they want to build their character. The skill is pretty simple. you go to an enchanting table, you give it an equipment item such as a crossbow or a chest plate, and then you give it ingredients that will alter the equipment's stats. Each material has its own attributes of what kind of stats it can give. So I made this little house with the enchanting table inside, just for now at least, and let's go ahead and look at the first iteration of the UI and how it'll all work. So for this example, I'm going to put my oak crossbow inside the equipment slot. For my materials, I'm just going to use the hearts, which give max health. And when I hit enchant, my crossbow should give a random roll of maximum health. Now the possibilities of this are pretty much endless. I can make a chest plate that does all max health, while my plate legs does all max mana, or a combination of both of them. Now, if you're a normal and smart person, you're probably thinking, well, to train the enchanting skill, you probably just have to enchant things. And as we already know, I'm neither of those things. So you actually gain experience by disenchanting. Now this is where this skill gets even better. Disenchanting is the act of taking normal equipment items and breaking them into essence, which gives you experience. The reason why this is so awesome is because it's an item sink, essentially helping fight hyperinflation in our game's economy. That's going to go ahead and wrap up today's devlog. Please make sure, if you like what you see here, to join our Discord. Very soon here, I'm going to actually put a few more polls up. I have some ideas and I want to see how the community would respond to them. And like always, thank you so much for watching. And I just wanted to make sure that I said a big thank you to the entire community. You've all been super supportive, and I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys.